Welcome to hour number 2 on a Friday on Hashtag Daily K with your host, Peter Bint. How much do you know about K-food? How much hanshik have you eaten?
We invite you into the world of Korean food, of course including the history and culture of it. We'll introduce trendy foods and famous restaurants on
Dish of the Day
with Joe.
We've got Joe in the studio again with his lovely little... Wait, I'm not a hat person, so do we call that just a woolly hat or a beanie?
In Canada, they call it a toque.
A toque?
We call it a toboggan where I'm from, but I know toboggan's also a sled.
Oh, really? You call the hat a toboggan?
Yeah, we don't know. In the South,
That's cool.
We don't know anything about winter clothes.
Do you have winter hats in the South? Does it get cold enough to, sport them?
A couple of days.
Oh, that's rather lovely.
Yeah, but for me, it's just a bad hair day, so I'm just wearing a hat.
I love wearing those kind of woolly hats. I guess in the UK, yeah, we sound a bit nerdy with a lot of our clothing thing, like a jumper, a woolly jumper.
Oh, jumper, yeah.
A woolly hat as well. But the problem is, I want to wear them indoors because that looks kind of trendy, but I get so hot when I'm inside. Like outside,
True.
nice and warm,
Yes.
but inside, my head starts to do a little bit of a steam.
Yeah, well, I'm warm anyway.
You've got to suffer for fashion, haven't you,
Yes.
Joe? Have you had a good week since we saw you last Friday?
It's been lovely.
Or got up to
thank you for
anything interesting?
asking.
Have you done anything fun to tell our listeners about, or is it all private?
My. Well, okay, wow. What have I done this week? Of course, my company, we're working on developing a game. So
How's that going?
Well, we're writing the story for the game, so it's been really fun.
Is it something different? Are you coming up with like a big storyline?
Oh
for
yes,
it?
yes.
Wow.
I'm
Creative.
bringing everything because we're wanting the storyline to last for years.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yes, it's really fun.
I'm looking forward to when the app comes out. Today, I've kind of previewed it, given a hint that it's something to do with the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And a food corner to do with the moon does sound a little odd to some of our
It
listeners.
does, yeah. Moon food.
Yum, yum.
Moon pies.
Are we doing space food, like desiccated stuff in a rocket?
Ooh, like freeze-dried kimchi?
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going that galactic, are we?
Okay, no, we're talking about Jeongwol Daeboreum.
Oh, okay. That is what to our non-Korean speakers?
It is. And actually, a lot of people just call it Daeboreum.
Uh-huh.
It's the celebration of the first full moon of the new year, of the Lunar New Year. So it's Lunar New Year. Makes sense to celebrate the first full moon, which will be on the 15th, Tuesday.
Ah, okay, so it's coming up very shortly.
Yes.
We had Solal at the beginning of February, so that's why we're talking about it now.
Funny how that matches up now this year.
Indeedy. And so in Korea, I think we've mentioned multiple times on the show, certain dates we eat certain foods, and we're kind of fans of that. I think we've both said that.
True.
And Daeboreum or Jeongwol Daeboreum is one of those days.
Yes, in fact, it used to be a very big holiday, and it's kind of faded away, but I wish we would bring it back because the more I hear about it, I asked people about it when they were young.
Yeah.
What did they do? And that's so much more fun than the other holidays we have.
Yeah, there are all sorts of interesting traditions, quirky things that we'll maybe get into a little bit.
Oh my. Yes, okay. So by the way, we just finished, I do another podcast called Dark Side of Soul podcast. We just released an episode about this.
Oh!
Just now.
So it gets a bit dark, does it?
Oh yeah, we'll talk more about the folklore traditions, and I'll bring some of that into what we're going to talk about today.
All right, I'm really curious because like you said, it's not really marked. I mean, maybe schools will say it's Jeongwol Daeboreum. You might eat one or two of the foods, but there's no day off or celebration. No,
really. A lot of people kind of forget it, and they go, "Oh, I forgot." It's kind of like in America, Groundhog Day.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Today's Groundhog Day. I forgot.
Yeah, what am I going to do? Probably nothing.
Nothing. I'm not going to do anything.
So tell us a bit about this. Have we shown this photo? Because this is about just generally before we get into details.
These are the general foods for Daeboreum.
Okay, lots of nuts, including some chestnuts and namul, the kind of prepared roots and veg and things.
Dried ones. Yeah, you're doing some dried vegetables, nuts, grains.
Okay.
It's a very healthy holiday.
It looks really healthy. I don't know how much my mouth is watering at the prospect of eating just this, but you're right, the health side of things.
Yes,
good.
It is. There's a lot of symbolism because this is all about the upcoming harvest for the year.
Okay.
Farming and the harvest. It encompasses all these things. In fact, Daeboreum actually encompasses 4 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. And each day represents a season.
Oh.
The 13th day is spring.
Yeah.
The 14th is summer.
Okay.
15th is autumn, which is the actual Daeboreum, and then 16th is winter.
Oh, so if this was still celebrated in a big way, we could have 4 days off potentially.
Yes, we could. We could. And part of it is a lot of drinking.
Oh, wow. Link to the hashtag as well. So on different days, were there different beliefs and things you would do?
Yes, particularly the 14th, which was summer. You couldn't have water. You couldn't offer anyone water.
Oh.
That was bad luck because summer we had to worry about floods.
Oh, I see, with the monsoon rains.
Right. So no water. So it's an excuse to drink other things. On the eve, children would go house to house, from house to house to gather food.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
That's really fun. Play little tricks on them as well because they have to stay up they're supposed to stay up all night.
Oh, wow.
And then there's this thing like if you fall asleep, your eyebrows will turn white.
Wow. To stop or scare kids from going to sleep.
Right. So if any child did fall asleep, your mischievous uncle would go and put some rice flour on the eyebrows.
And then you'd wake up and say, no, what's happened to my brows? Oh, that's fun. I really want to bring that back. I don't think there's ever a time that I want my kids not to sleep. It's the opposite. I'm like, go to sleep early so I can enjoy the flicks.
But this combines so many other things we do in other holidays. It reminds me a lot of Halloween, a little bit of Thanksgiving. It's a lot of different autumn festivals. It's just so much involved in this.
Yeah, going door to door, gathering food, a little bit like trick-or-treating.
There's a little bit of Christmas in this too.
Oh, really?
Yes. I was going to mention it later, but yeah. It is called Jishinbaki.
Oh, what's that?
It's the Nongak, the farmers band.
Okay.
They go house to house and they play music and they're supposed to appease the earth deity.
Oh, so kind of like caroling.
Yes.
Aww.
Isn't that cool?
I thought Korea is kind of a shame we don't have a caroling culture, but we kind of did just at a very different time of year.
Kind of hard to do that in an apartment building.
Going up and down in the elevators with a farm band.
And the music is going to be all doom, doom, doom. It's going to be a lot of...
I'd still like it if they maybe just paid a visit to like the ground floor communal area or something.
Well, I mean,
lovely.
they still do it in some parts of the country, I hear.
Oh, wow.
So this is really cool.
I guess more in the rural areas where farming's still a big deal and stuff like that. It's a really interesting festival, which, like Joe mentioned totally correctly, is not such a big deal anymore. Maybe we'll revive it because it seems like Korea is looking to refocus back to our culture with hanbok promotion and stuff like that.
True. This is one I really want to revive.
Yeah,
it sounds like so much fun.
Steve says from the photo, what a nice presentation of nuts, grains and veggies. And it did look very familiar to me. If you go to the big supermarkets, maybe even the department store like food halls around that time, they will kind of push that as, I guess, a way to make more money. But it's nice that the traditions are there as well.
Right. There will be.
You got a couple of messages?
Yeah, Siska says, kapgome food in Indonesia. It's 15 days after Lunar New Year.
Oh, the same.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, not familiar. She says, I'm not familiar with today's dish anyway.
Yeah, with Jeongwol Daeboreum food, I think we've mentioned maybe one of the things you eat, which is not really a dish, it's just a certain ingredient. And we've not gone into too much detail, but we are going to do so today.
It's all symbolic.
Yeah, and Donna in New York says, we used to go Christmas caroling when we were young teens. I'd be really amazed, and I hope that there's a listener who used to do this farm band thing back in the day, but I doubt we have one.
The farm band.
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's make it nongak.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Every year we'll get all the calls as the only foreigner farm band.
We'll go all around the Arirang building and we're just going to play. And we'll please the earth deity by doing that.
Yeah, get a good harvest. Who doesn't want that, right?
Yes.
You got another one?
Yes. Leon says, in Chinese culture, we just eat tangyuan. the glutinous rice balls, same as winter solstice.
Oh.
I think that's related to something we do here.
Don't we have the like red bean with the rice balls?
We do, and
Yeah.
in some cases I've read that the rice balls represent dragon eggs.
Oh, nice. I've heard they can represent the full moon as well, being round and white. I think there are a few interpretations. But that, Leon, is only on winter solstice. Like, or is it with Daeboreum, Joe? Have you found out about that? That's not included today, right?
With the glutinous rice balls, we do some. There's some way of putting some in the well.
Oh.
Some put them at the bottom of the well. And in fact, again, with the water thing.
Okay.
Not supposed to draw water from the well on the 14th.
Yeah.
But the first person to draw water from the well after the sun rises and right after the cock crows, they get basically the dragon egg.
Oh.
Which is good luck, or the water of the dragon egg.
Oh, that's kind of cool, isn't it? We don't have too many wells left in Korea, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I did go to a folk village over...
Maybe the water cooler.
Yeah, that's our new version of the well.
There we go.
Should we put glutinous rice balls in the big bottle of water on top of the water cooler?
You do that and tell me how it turns out.
I'm sure I will get many complaints here at Arirang. So in terms of the food traditions...
Yes, let's talk about the food.
Yeah, that's the focus today.
Okay, so we have the actual buram. Buram kegi, which is cracking nuts.
I know about this. This is one we've talked about on the show, and we've done at home as well. Yeah. So that's why you can see on the photo the walnuts in their shells, the peanuts in their shells. I'd say it's not that common to get them that way in Korea, but around this time of year...
You really do, and you gotta crack them with your teeth.
Don't do that with the walnuts.
Yeah, and early in the morning, too.
Really?
Yes.
That's the time where it's most like lucky?
It's all for good health.
Okay.
This is for good teeth, rosy cheeks, prevents boils in case that's an issue for you.
I heard that, yeah. And I know maybe back in the day that was okay, but I think now you wouldn't encourage your kids especially to do the walnuts. They are so hard.
And supposedly you're supposed to eat as many as your age.
Okay.
And I'm not doing that.
I like walnuts in very small quantities.
I'm not cracking 50 nuts.
So that is the really big one that I think has kind of survived over the years. And many, my child's grandma, who is my mother, incidentally, she will buy nuts on this day and kind of make a big deal of it. But that's it. Like, I don't know any others, I don't think. So take me on a journey.
Oh, another one, my wife remembers this one, is ogukbap.
Okay.
The 5-grain rice.
Uh-huh.
There's not really a standard set, but you usually see like red beans in it, maybe some ginkgo nuts, millet, barley maybe. I think for each community, it's whatever grains grow the best in autumn.
Okay.
It's symbolic of the grains that you grow.
So it doesn't have to be particularly 5 grains, but you're trying to get 5 of any type available.
Right, the ones that grow the best.
Yeah.
And so you pray for a bountiful harvest.
Again, similar with the nuts, I suppose, on that kind of line, the grains.
Again, healthy, extremely healthy, and it's delicious. I love ogukbap.
You can get this rice at many, especially health-conscious restaurants, and some homes. My auntie always cooks, not quite 5 grains, I think, but at least a good 2 or 3.
We never have plain white rice in our house.
Oh, wow.
We always have something in our rice.
That's really good. My kids are so fussy. All right, and I am as well. I like the white rice. So we rarely have something else in it. And I think the prep is a little longer. Like, you got to soak some of those grains in water.
Yes, we do the night
in.
before, hold like some oats or something like that we put in. Yeah.
But at least this day on Jeongwol Daeboreum, you should be doing it.
Yes.
Okay.
Another one is yakbap. We've talked about this one before. Now, this is like almost like a candy, but not sweet, not very sweet. It's just everything thrown together. You see the daechu, the dates, the Korean dates, jujubes or
jujubes, yeah.
Yeah.
You got some nuts in there as well.
Pumpkin seeds,
chestnuts
and
sometimes.
it's chewy and it's lovely. I love this.
The main ingredient is that chewy glutinous browned rice.
It's like
right?
a Joseon Dynasty granola bar.
It's lovely.
Yeah, I
is
love
that
this.
Traditional? Oh, I guess because it's got nuts and stuff.
Actually,
in
it goes way back to the Three Kingdoms period.
Oh, do tell us
okay,
more.
I'll tell you the story of Sagamgap.
Okay.
So King Soji and the Shilla Kingdom, the Three Kingdoms, he was around 479 to 500 CE.
Okay.
He was leaving the palace to go to this pavilion called Cheoncheonjong.
Okay.
And it was for the first full moon of the year. And the crows and the mice loudly cried, "Follow the crow!" So the king ordered his servants to go follow the crow.
Uh-huh.
Servants find this pond pond, and there are these pigs fighting.
Oh.
And then I know this is trippy. I know.
Yep.
And an old man comes out of the pond.
Wow.
And hands an envelope to the servant and says, if the king reads this letter, 2 people will die. No, and if the king doesn't read the letter, 1 person will die.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
So goes back, tells the king about this, and the king says, well, I'm not going to read the letter because only one person dying is better than 2 people dying.
Still not great.
But one of his advisors said, well, what if that one person is you, sire?
Oh. Well, then does he want to kill someone alongside him?
So he goes and he opens up and he reads it, and there's only one word, is sagamgap.
Okay.
Which means shoot the gold armor. So he takes his bow and arrow, and there's some gold armor, and he shoots the armor.
Yeah.
Turns out there's a person inside.
Oh, no.
A person who was in cohorts with the queen to kill him.
And so
So if he didn't kill him, he would have gotten killed. But instead, he shot him, and he executed him and the queen.
And so that's why 2 people died.
Yes.
That's interesting, isn't it?
So to commemorate this, the king would give yakbap for the crows on the first rat and pig day of every year.
Oh, wow, for the crows, not even for us people to eat.
No.
But as a sign of being grateful
To the crows.
That's a cool story,
love these
isn't
stories.
it? And yakbak, I must say, is a really good snack. You can buy it at the duck jibs, right? The rice cake shops. It's not technically rice cake, I don't think, because the rice is still in its original form. But
Yeah, it's lovely.
it's good to take around for you. Like you said, a granola bar of back in the day.
Yes.
Moving on to the other thing that we saw in the pictures.
Yes, jinche.
The dried veggies.
Yes, dried vegetables, dried namul, herbs,
Yeah.
and stuff. So you won't get hot in the summer.
Oh, that's the symbolism behind them. Veggies to cool you down.
Yes, and you can have 3 to 19 different types. The more, the better.
19 different types.
Yes. I'm sure
Wow.
there's some ambitious person who does this.
We do have many types of namul that we have mentioned on the show before, but having 19 in one dish, that's a lot of work for someone.
Wow, that is a lot of work. But man, that would be such a spread.
It's good though, these kind of half-dried and then they can be kind of re-moisturized.
Yeah, reconstituted, yes.
That's the
Yeah,
word.
those
Not
are
moisture.
delicious.
Don't put moisturizer on your vegetables. And then put them in like a bibimbap or something
Keeps
like
them
that.
young.
Yeah. Moving on.
Oh, guibagisu.
What's that?
Now, this is cool. Now, it could be a specific type of alcohol, but it's really just any type of medicinal alcohol. You drink it cold right away when you wake up early in the morning, and you drink all day.
Oh, okay. You did mention there was drinking.
Yeah, it's supposed to brighten the ears and prevents ear diseases. You see the ear.
밝기솔. 술 meaning alcohol, 밝다 meaning bright, so brighten up the ears.
And also, so you hope to hear good news during the year.
You need brightened up ears to do that, obviously.
And it was also given to children.
Alcohol was back in the day in many instances, wasn't it? I mean, I think there are still some English grandpas and grandmas who think a bit of whiskey to send the kids to sleep when they're a bit fussy.
Yeah.
Obviously, doctors do not condone that.
Now,
All about Korea.
Arirang Radio.
Siska's come in with this from Indonesia. Another thing I'm not aware of.
Look at that.
It's lontong rice cake served with richly flavored dishes, which includes opor ayam chicken in coconut milk, some sayur lodo vegetable soup, hot and spicy liver, hard-boiled pindang eggs, koya powder as well. And it's usually consumed by Chinese Indonesian communities during the 15th day on the lunar calendar.
I'm there, dude. That looks so good. That sounds so good.
So many ingredients as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, we used to put a lot more time and effort into our dishes, I feel, right? Rather than chucking something in the microwave.
Yes, it is true. That is true. That is true.
You got some messages as well?
Yes, Leon says the ogokbap, the 5-grain rice, looks kind of similar to yam rice we eat here, I guess, in China.
Oh, yam rice. I don't think that's a thing here in
We
Korea,
do
right?
yam. It depends on what you mean by yam, because it's been translated as
What
ma
is yam?
or
the
sweet
ma.
potato. So but that's still 2 different things.
Yeah, we eat a lot of sweet potatoes here. Ma We
Ma,
do eat from time to time.
and I don't even know how to translate ma. Maybe taro.
Taro, I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. It's not something I actually love to eat.
I'm not a
either.
big fan. My wife would make smoothies with it, and it's just drinking slime.
Yeah, I've had it in a soup.
It's like okra.
And it is really slimy, isn't
It's really
it?
slimy, but sweet potato I like.
There we go. Silver Granny Lynn from North Carolina says, I tried a new recipe tonight for dinner, pudejjigae, Korean army-based stew. Since I'm part of the BTS army, I thought I couldn't have a more appropriate meal.
Oh yeah, BTS Army-based stew.
That
Yes.
looks pretty good.
You did well. That's it. That's the thing with budae-jjigae. It's like chili. You put in what you feel like in it.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't see your broth so much there,
That's
Lynn.
it. That's because it's a stew. It's almost bokum. It's almost budae bokum. You would say,
Yeah,
yeah,
you can
yeah,
get-
which you can get in Uijeongbu.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That sounds good. I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind that. It might be a more concentrated flavour, I suppose.
Yes, that
Thank
looks
you
so
for
good.
sending that in. You got another message?
Oh yes, from Donna in New York. Hub's husband makes the ginkgo red bean rice.
Oh.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, those fruit and nut bars look so tasty. They are. I think you will be able to find those in New York, specifically in Flushing. I think you might be able to find those there.
They got some Korean-like places
Yes.
there. Steve saying, is it like a Chinese fruit cake, that fruit bar? I've not had a Chinese fruit
I've
cake.
not had Chinese fruit cake.
I'm not sure at all. And you said you like the garlic-flavoured peanuts from Chinatown. Those sound good.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, I've not come across garlic-flavoured peanuts. We've got that whole boom still going on the different flavours of almonds. You can get literally
yes.
any flavour of almond
Yes,
now.
I love seeing all the new challenging flavors. Like how?
Have you tried the carrot cake almonds?
No, but I want to.
They're so good.
The tiramisu is amazing.
They're brilliant. These, though, make almonds very unhealthy, I feel, with the coatings and
Oh,
stuff.
it is.
Yeah.
The one. Have you done one with the Pop Rocks on it?
Yes.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
got candy on almonds,
It's
right?
so great.
Getting back to more tradition. Although, we did talk about nuts on Jeongwol Daeboreum. I wonder if those Pop Rock almonds count.
Pop Rock, but I don't think they have a red bean almond.
No.
So we're going to talk a little bit. One of the other big foods is danpatjuk,
Oh,
red bean porridge.
So Leon from Singapore was saying on winter solstice and now as well, it's traditional in Singapore, but you can have it here in Korea on this day as well. Nice.
Yes, color red. Very good for driving away evil spirits.
Yeah, we got a photo of the red bean porridge here, and you can see it's not like red in the traditional sense that we consider red. Very dark. I think it's more like a purple almost, or
I
a
love
brown.
It reminds me of New Orleans red beans and rice. It really does, because it's not sweet.
Okay.
I like that because it's not sweet, but it does remind me of red beans and rice.
Yeah, I didn't know this was part of Jeongwol Daeboreum because on winter solstice, my friend owns one of those juk restaurants, the porridge restaurants.
Yes.
Their orders go through the roof for the red bean porridge, and
it
they
is so
make
good,
so
though.
much money on that one day of the year.
It is
But
so good.
I wonder if it's the same on Jeongwol Daeboreum for people who know their tradition kind of thing. Getting on to some more things, less food related, but around this time of year.
This is the fun stuff. This is
Okay.
why it's so much fun. Yeah, we talk about the dalchip teugi, which is literally means the moon house burning.
Wow.
It's a giant bonfire, but it's not just any wood. You have a good mix of bamboo and pine and straw. The bamboo
goodness.
makes a cracking sound.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all to ward off evil. And what's fun is different villages try to get the biggest fire. They're in competition to get the biggest fire, because the bigger your fire, the better your harvest will be.
Wow. I know in Jeju they used to have this fire festival, but I can't remember if it was around this time of year for this traditional meaning. It looks brilliant, but I don't know, the safety side of things, I suppose.
Well,
they
okay,
take
if
that
you want
into
to talk
account.
about safety, I'm going to skip ahead about it. We're going to talk about chipunori.
Chiburunori,
Chipunori, playing with the fire mouse.
the fire mouse.
Yes. Well, you get a can and a
Yep.
string, and you put stuff in the can that's flammable, and you light it on fire and spin it in a circle.
That's what we're seeing on
And
screen.
that gets rid of rats in the field that will eat your grains.
Really?
Yes.
Is that another kind of superstitious thing rather than
It is a
Literally.
tradition. I'm not calling it superstition. It's folklore.
Tradition. There we
It
go.
is folklore.
Because I wonder how does that scare away the mice and rats?
Yeah, it scare me away because that does not look safe at all.
It doesn't, but I do recall seeing that when I was very young coming to Korea.
I was talking to a friend of mine my age
Yeah.
yesterday, and he said, yeah, he remembered doing that as a child.
Yeah, you don't see that. Like, there aren't going to be kids on the streets of Socho doing that this year.
Maybe if you made a symbolic one with a
Yeah.
safe LED light on
Yeah,
it.
that I could see, but with fire in a can, most Korean parents are way too careful to let their kids do that. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, if you want to talk about danger. But this thing more healthy is da리
Uh-huh.
babki. Yeah, da리 babki, sorry. Which can mean bridge or legs. See what I mean? See what's going here? So you walk across bridges.
Uh-huh.
Preferably 12 bridges or walk across a bridge 12 times. And this is another reason I like Daeboreum over the other festivals.
Yep.
Is the other festivals tend to be more family oriented. You stay in your family.
Sure.
Daeboreum is more community oriented.
Okay,
so
you're out
you
there.
go out with your neighbors and you wish them well and you walk across bridges together and
And that gives you healthy
yeah,
legs.
and it helps your legs and you know you're playing music in people's houses.
Yeah, I remember. We've got a photo of one just manufactured
Yeah, and
bridge.
I wonder if that's a nongak in that photo.
Yeah, the farmer's band.
Yeah,
right?
I wonder if that is.
It does look like it. And I think I've presented some stories on this before, the tari paipki. So I don't know if it's only this time of year, but yeah, they say it's good for your legs and good for your health in general. I think walking would be great.
Walking is good, and that's what it's a healthy holiday.
Yeah.
It's great for the community. It's so much fun, and when you make healthy food, kind of like a special occasion dish, you kind of you look forward to it. It's a good
Absolutely.
thing.
If you're doing 12 of the Han River bridges, that would be a lot of exercise. Like
Yes,
that's more
but how
than
about
a kilometer
Cheonggyecheon?
each.
Cheonggyecheon would be good.
Okay, the little ones. Yeah, that's doable,
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
Good. That's good.
Any more info you want to present, Joe?
Okay,
One last thing?
Yeah, well, the dalchom, which is moon divination, you look at the moon, and the color and the shape. If it's red, that means there might be a drought.
Uh-oh.
White, too much rain.
Yep.
Bright yellow, good harvest.
Okay.
And if it appears in the clouds, bad harvest.
So we're hoping for bright yellow.
And a funny thing, if it occurs on Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
you call it Borum time day.
If it overlaps.
Borum time.
So you can give nuts and chocolate.
Borum time day. Yeah.
Chocolate-covered nuts. You've killed all the birds with one stone,
There you
I feel.
go.
We've learned so much about Jeongwol Daeboreum, the first full moon after Lunar New Year. Get your nut game on is the message, or some dried veggies. Up to 19, Joe has said, but no
Yes.
more.
And we
No
cover
more.
this in more detail on the Dark Side of Soul podcast as well.
Fantastic. Check out Joe on that and Zen Kimchi. And Joe, today is your final week because Ryan is, I think he's
Yes.
actually back in Korea, but he's in quarantine.
Yes.
So he will be back next Friday. Thank you so much for doing this relatively long stint on the show.
It's been fun.
Fantastic. Would you like to say anything to our listeners?
You guys know me. I know you. We've had a good time. We've known each other for maybe 10 years now.
I think so.
It's always great to talk to you.
Fantastic, Joe. And I'm sure we'll see you again in the future. Have a happy Jeongwol Daeboreum next week.
Oh, I shall.
You can listen to Dish of the Day with Chef Brian every Friday at 10 a.m. KST on #DailyK.